Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Steph and I'm a transformational coach, counsellor and mindfulness facilitator. And today I have a really great topic to talk about, and that's about how we feel safe in the world and how it relates to our attachment with our primary caregivers. So when I used to work with some young people, I talked about this earlier in one of my other videos, is when I used to work with these young people who had attachment disorders, and how nearly all people have some sort of attachment disorder. And this is because we've been raised in families where our parents weren't able to fully meet our needs emotionally. So what an attachment is, from a young age, when we're children, we develop an attachment style. And if you read up in the research, there's 4 different types of attachments. There's a secure attachment, a disorganized attachment, an avoidant attachment, and also one that's in between. I can't remember the other one. And so these are different styles of attachments that we all get, and I'm sure there's more outside of that spectrum. You just kind of sit on the spectrum of either having a secure attachment or of either having an avoidant or an insecure attachment. And most of us will, if we've been raised in families where parents are quite emotionally distant or avoidant, unable to meet our emotional needs, then we tend to develop an inability to connect or trust other people. And this is a really important thing for us in our lives in order to develop meaningful relationships. Because when we want to develop healthy relationships in our lives, we want to be able to trust those people, trust whoever it is that we're letting into our lives, to trust them enough to be vulnerable around them, to be ourselves, to be fully ourselves, to be able to speak our emotions, to communicate our emotions and be received, and to, just to generally have a relationship built on mutual trust and respect. We need to be able to connect with that person. And in order to do that, we need to know how to trust. And I know in my own experience of watching other people's behavior, because I'm very analytical and I'm always watching other people's behaviors and watching my own as well, is that some people are very caught up in the doing of things in their lives, whether that's creating things in their lives, so creating a business, or focusing on their career, or focusing on getting to the top of the ladder in their career, or maybe they're really focused on like getting a better house or building a bigger house, or it's kind of like this pursuit of external improvement and advancement, when really what a lot of these people need is to develop their connection with other people. Because in their pursuit of the external things, whether that's like overly focusing on your career, you're shutting out or denying or not looking at your ability to relate to other people. And this is our developing our sense, and this is the key point why it's so important and why I'm talking about this, is because this represents our sense of safety in the world. In order to build relationships that are built on trust, creates our own sense of safety in the world. And this is what our attachment does. When we initially attach to our parents at a young age, it develops our sense of safety and our sense of trust in the world around us. If we feel that our parents cannot keep us safe, if they do not meet our emotional needs, it feels like we are not safe if they don't meet our physical needs, it means we're not safe in the world, because we see our parents as our like God figure. And so, you know, that's all we're looking up to at that age. We don't realize there's a world around us. We don't realize there's an infinite self. We don't realize there's, we're primarily connected to the attachment figure, which is the parent, the mother or father, or both. So, we're developing our sense of safety. And so people that are overly focusing on these external things in their lives, it's generally because they don't feel safe in the world. So they're constantly trying to achieve more in order to build a sense of safety or security in their lives, when really that safety and security is going to come from the connection, developing the emotional connection and sense of trust and safety in their relationships, particularly close relationships, like with somebody that you can primarily attach to. So obviously our acquaintances and people that we don't really open up to, that's not really our primary relationships where we're going to achieve the most growth. The most growth we're going to achieve in relationships are with people that we can dive deep with, that we can be vulnerable with, that we can really start to develop that bond with and reconfigure our attachment style. So lovers, partnerships, really strong colleagues that we feel we can open up to, friendships, those ones that you can really open up to. These are the ones where you can start to redevelop that sense of connection and trust in the world through your relationships. And part of that really is letting other people hold your emotional state. So being able to open up your emotions and how you're feeling to the other person, and have that other person receive you, because obviously it's going to be a trauma. If that person doesn't receive you and shuts you down, that's a re-trauma of probably what you've experienced in your childhood. So you want to develop that attachment with people that are going to receive you in your vulnerability. And this is steps. These are taking steps in order to rebuild that attachment style, and also subsequently, to develop our trust in the world once again, which we have not had in our childhood. This is just one step, but it's really beautiful to understand and see the link between our attachment style and our ability to attach with our parents, and how that relates to our sense of feeling safe in the world, and how we can build meaningful relationships on trust in our lives. Okay, I might leave it there. I hope that gave you some insight or into attachment styles and all of that I just talked about. So thank you, and share more soon. Thanks. Bye.